Last week, though, American Music Awards. I remember that was my favorite award show growing up. I like the glass trophy, the glass pyramid. I thought that thing was dope. And I know all my conspiracy theorists and all my people who are what's the thing with the triangle that everybody does? Um, you're not saying anything. You're just looking at me. Uh, uh, anyways, that secret society. All my Christians would think there's a secret society. Look at that American Music Award trophy. And American Music Award hasn't been on for years. It's been on hiatus. The Grammys have had some cut ups and downs. And I remember when we were younger, man, music was such a big thing in our culture that it wasn't just the American Music Awards. It was Billboard. It was the Billboard Awards. It was the Grammys. It was the Soul Train Awards. It was the MTV Video Music Awards. So if you were anybody, you had to clean house on all those nights and all those things. And so, but I remember American Music Awards was one of the biggest ones. It was catching up to the Grammys. It was up there. It was the show that we all watched and then talked about at school the next day. And it aired on CBS last week. It's crazy. This thing aired on TV and no one knew about it. Nobody knew about it. And even me, I didn't find out about it till the day after. And I watched it and I watched a little bit of it. And bro, is it just me? I knew growing up, there's going to be a time, especially for Gen Xers, where we're not going to recognize the people on stage and the people, that they're talking about. That's just comes with age. You're gonna run out of people. I'm like, well, who's that? So there's that element. But even outside of that, it was such a snooze fest. Like Jennifer Lopez was hosting, and don't get me wrong, Jennifer Lopez is a national treasure. But it's at the point where like, what is she trying to do? Is she trying too hard now? Is her thing over? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is she over or whatever? But I just thought that was like, oh, poor J-Lo. She performed and she tried to even be controversial on her performance. She kissed a guy, then kissed a girl. And it was just like, oh, my child. Like, and I'm one, and I'm hopeful that I don't think because you have to be young to make relevant music. I think you can be older and make relevant music. Not, of course you can. But when you're trying to still do shock value, I think there was a moment in my life where I stopped fooling with Madonna because I was like, she's just doing it for shock value. And I was around the time where she kissed Britney Spears at the MTV Video Music Awards. She kissed Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. And they didn't even get a good shot of it because people wanted to see Justin's reaction more than anything else. So no one ever really saw the kiss. But it was like, you're just doing this for shock. I remember the funny thing about that whole situation was she kissed Britney and then she turned around and kissed Christina. And then Missy Elliott came out dancing like, you ain't gonna kiss me. Oh man, that was great. But she was just, I felt like she was trying to she was trying to do something. She was trying to get her career back by being, and I think she's done that a lot. And so many other artists have done that, try to be risque to get people to come back to them. And that doesn't seem to be working. But this American Music Awards ran for 2 hours. And do you know how many awards they gave out? They televised. 8. It was literally an award show without awards. It was an award show without awards. It's crazy. Let me get in the middle of the screen. It was an award show without awards. It had 8. And on top of that, another thing that people die for is, to see their favorite celebrities. I have a list of celebrities that did not show to the American Music Awards. This is crazy. Taylor Swift, who didn't even get nominated for any American Music Awards. Billie Eilish, who cleaned up. So The one who was snubbed got didn't show up. She got 0 nominations, snubbed, didn't win anything. She didn't show up. Billie Eilish, who got Artist of the Year and like 3 more, didn't show up. Beyonce didn't show up. Now remember, this was like 4 months ago. We were doing the Grammys, and they all were there, and they were all cleaning up. Sabrina Carpenter wasn't there. Kendrick Lamar wasn't there. Chappell Roan was not there. Bad Bunny. Even people who were claiming to be presenters, scheduled to present, did not show up. It was like, and it's almost Ariana Grande wasn't there. Carrie Underwood wasn't there. Dan and Shay were not there. Becky G. And SZA. I think SZA was there. I don't remember SZA being there. I don't know why I say that. But it was crazy. Even the performances. And it was crazy because social media was going berserk because people were excited about Blake Shelton performing. Blake Shelton and his wife, Gwen Stefani, they were supposed to perform. And they had pictures of them at the event. They were at the event, yo. There was on social media, have them at the event with the guitar. They walked the red carpet. Like Blake Shelton actually walked the red carpet, but then didn't perform. Like he performed, but they pre-taped his performance. They left, and the performance was taped. It's crazy. Like they literally like did not care to show up. And they said that there's reports that there's certain artists that they kind of begged to come, like Billie Eilish. They begged her, like, please show up, please, we need you there. And she was on tour. She's on a European tour and didn't want to stop. I don't know if this is because the American, which is the Dick Clark Productions. I think American Music Awards is run by the Dick Clark Productions. I don't know if Dick Clark Productions was lazy or late in preparing this thing. There was no marketing because no one knew this thing was happening. And so if we didn't know what was happening, there's a strong sense that the celebrities didn't know this was happening. And it was just chaotic. It was poorly put together. There was more than just Blake's performance was pre-taped. A lot of the performances were pre-taped. There was a lot of people who weren't there to collect their awards. It was been sad. Maybe the stage of that is over. I think with the development of how the music industry has changed, celebrityism has changed. It has completely changed now.